This is a story of making sure my wonderfully friendly dog doesn't fail her biggest test. If she does, it's not because she was bad or disobedient or even scared. It was because she was actually too friendly. And in the high-stakes world of therapy dog certification, loving every single person you meet is surprisingly a deal breaker.
On the road to healing, 1 mile at a time.
Hey friends, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Nurse TLC, a registered nurse of over 20 years who had to step away from a more traditional nursing role due to chronic health challenges. These days, I live most of my time in my van I named Betty White with my therapy dog in training, Desert Sage, also known as Sagie, sharing my journey of adapting, finding balance, and exploring new ways to bring comfort and healing both to myself and others. Becoming a therapy dog team with my dog Sagie has been our biggest goal right from the start. It's a journey that takes a ton of patience, even more training, and a bond so strong you can practically read each other's minds. But no matter how much you prepare, it all boils down to this test. For us and for so many others, that's the Canine Good Citizen test, or also known as CGC. It's the gold standard for doggy manners and the ticket into most therapy dog organizations. For a reminder, the CGC is a 10-step test by the AKC that helps ensure dogs are well-mannered and calm in public. For therapy dog teams like us, passing this test is one of the first big milestones. In part 1, we covered test components 1 through 5, so if you missed that video, you'll want to watch it before this one. The link is above or in the description box below the video. Today's video covers test items 6 through 10, the last 6 weeks of our 12-week class. You'll want to subscribe because we'll be back soon with part 4, our official CGC test day. Will we move forward, or does our therapy dog journey end there? You will have to stay tuned to find out. So now let's get started. We'd worked our way through the basics, but the end of the CGC test has the 5 biggest challenges, the ones that really separate a well-behaved pet from a potential therapy dog. Today I'm taking you with us as we break down those final hurdles. As we break down those final 5 hurdles, I'm not just going to list off the test items, I'm going to share our personal strategy and the training tips that help Sagie and I prepare for the test day. Test number 6, sit and down on command, and number 7, staying in place. This one has a few moving parts. First, the evaluator has you command your dog to sit, then lie down. Then comes the hard part. You pick one of those positions and tell your dog to stay, and you walk to the end of a 20-foot long line, turn around and walk back. The rules are super specific. Your dog is allowed to change positions, say from a sit to a down, but cannot move from its spot. No creeping forward, and definitely no getting up to follow you. The why behind this test is so important for therapy dog work. A handler might need to chat with a doctor or a patient's family for a moment, and the dog has to be able to hold that stay without constant micromanagement. It's all about trust and reliability. Training tip. We had to build her confidence that I was always coming back. We started with a 5-second stay. I'd ask her to stay, take a few steps back, and immediately call her and give her a huge party of praise and treats. We slowly increased the distance each day. The real game changer for us was practicing with my back turned or me ducking around the corner. Dogs are geniuses at reading body language, and turning your back is a huge signal. So I'd practice walking away just a few feet, back to her, and then turn around and reward her. This took the sting out of the trigger of me walking away. You can use gentle guidance, but not force. So this all has to be built on positive reinforcement. Test number 8 is the one that makes handlers sweat the most, reaction to another dog. And yes, this made me nervous. In this exercise, you and your dog approach another handler and their dog. You meet in the middle, stop, and the handlers shake hands and say hello. And then you both walk away. The goal? Total neutrality. Your dog should show no more than casual interest in the other dog. That means no barking, no lunging, no pulling, and no trying to start a play date. For Sagie, she sees another dog and just desperately wants to say hello. That friendly pulling and whining, while totally innocent, is still an automatic fail. A therapy dog has to be able to share space with other animals, including other therapy dogs, without being disruptive. Training tip. Our training focused on a single concept. Other dogs are irrelevant. We'd go to a park, and from a huge distance where she could see another dog but not get worked up, I would say, "Watch me," and treat the exact moment she looked at the dog. Pretty soon she'd spot a dog, then whip her head back to me expecting a treat. She was learning that another dog was just just a cue to check in with me. Now for the truly unpredictable part, which is test number 9, reaction to distractions. For this, the evaluator creates 2 different distractions, one you hear and one you see. This could be anything from a metal bowl being dropped to someone on crutches walking by, or a wheelchair rolling past, or someone on a loudspeaker. Your dog can be startled or curious, but they have to recover quickly. Panicking, barking, lunging, or showing aggression is not an option. The purpose here is pretty clear. A therapy setting is full of strange noises and sights. Canes drop, alarms beep, medical equipment is constantly moving. A dog that panics at these things can't do its job and could be a safety risk.
To distractions, so I can do something like play a kid's piano or drop a clipboard. If he reacted negatively, he needs to be able to recover. He needs to not try to run away, not panic, not bite me in his fear. So basically, obviously, no big deal.
Luckily, Sagie's not sensitive to sound, so this test item was one of the easiest to train for. Training tip. Our training was all about desensitization and counter conditioning. It was about turning scary noises into a sign that something awesome was about to happen. It started at home long ago as a puppy. Our home is pretty loud and unpredictable, being that Derek is in a wheelchair and has caregivers coming in and out several days a week. Plus, we did home improvement, so lots of workers and loud noises around, plus living in a van on the road with lots of new sights and sounds really desensitized her to this. But to train for this, I would have someone drop a small book. The moment the sound happened, I tossed a handful of Sagie's favorite treats on the floor. She was startled for a second, but then the treat party immediately took over, and her nose would take over, and she'd go scavenging for all those treats. We did this over and over with different objects, gradually making the noise louder and closer. Soon the sound of a dropped book became the sound of a jackpot. We did the same thing with visual distractions. Every time she looked at the strange object calmly, she got a reward. We basically made weird things boring, and then we made them good. I took her to a lot of loud places with lots of sights and sounds too, like concerts in the park or festivals. Finally, we get to the last and maybe the most emotionally taxing hurdle. Test number 10, supervised separation. This one tests the handler just as much as the dog. The evaluator takes your dog's leash and you have to walk away and go completely out of sight for 3 whole minutes. Your dog needs to stay with the evaluator without showing major signs of distress. A little nervousness or looking for you is fine, but continuous barking, whining, howling, or frantic pacing is a fail. This is a direct test for separation anxiety, which is a deal breaker for a therapy dog. A handler might need to use the bathroom or step out of a patient's room for a private chat, and the dog has to handle that brief separation with grace. Training tip. Training for this was all about building her confidence and independence. We worked on handing her leash off to other people. I had friends hold her leash while I stood like 10 feet away, then just out of sight for a moment. The person holding the leash was always calm and quiet, just like the evaluator would be. This taught her that it's safe when other people hold her leash and that I will always come back. These might sound simple, but they take a lot of trust, bonding, and consistent work. I've learned so much during this process, not just about training, but about communication and patience. Our bond keeps growing stronger, and that's what makes this journey worth it. Even if you're not training a therapy dog yourself, I've learned that practicing even the basics of obedience and training can deepen your bond with your dog, build trust, and make everyday life together so much smoother and more joyful. If you've enjoyed following along, please give this video a like and share your dog training stories in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, because we'll be back with part 4, our official CGC test day next week. Will all of our training and adapting help us pass? Until next time, be kind to yourself and give your pups an extra cuddle from us. See you next video. Bye.
On the road to healing, 1 mile at a time. With desert sage and hope by my side. With pain and strength part of our day, we love helping others along the way.